Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
He never would have made it through the Arkansas mud if he hadn't been riding that Tennessee stud.
Cowboy ballads and bluegrass classics are brought to life by Brenda, Connie, Jeannie, Kelli, and Holly, collectively known as the Fletcher Girls.
He jumped through a ladder by his Uncle Fudd, and he rode away on the Tennessee stud.
Well, the Fletcher Girls are 5 sisters who grew up in Republic, Washington, and it's us 5 girls sitting right here. We've been singing and playing together country, folk, bluegrass music ever since we were old enough to remember. We've been singing and harmonizing. We got started making music since day one.
Darling, my time will come someday. Time alone won't heal this broken heart.
The Fletcher Girls grew up on a ranch outside of Republic, Washington. With only one TV channel working and no other electronic gadgets for entertainment, the girls found something else to fill their time: music.
The first thing we do when we get up in the morning, someone's pulling the fiddle off the wall. My dad would say, "Play me a tune, get that fiddle down." Or anyway, so it's just kind of infectious when one person starts playing the fiddle or someone picks up the guitar and starts singing. Pretty soon another sister comes in, starts singing harmony and picks up another instrument, and pretty soon we're just making music.
The Fletcher Girls come from a long line of homegrown musicians, including their parents and grandparents who had lived in the hills of Kentucky.
I was the 9th of 10 children, and my parents were both musical, and everybody that we knew, you know, my aunts and uncles, and were all musical. And so my older brothers and sisters, when they were old enough to hold a guitar, they learned to play, and of course singing was very much a part of that too. And there was only one guitar in the whole family, so as soon as one person would lay it down, someone else would pick it up.
If more than one of them wanted to play a guitar at a time, they would both play the same guitar.
They did that too.
They've done that quite a bit, yeah.
In the Fletcher family, it's always been downright natural to play an instrument or sing a song by ear.
It didn't have to be written out to learn it or learn to love it. You could just love it for the music, and you learned to play it. Your fingers went here, and that was that sound you got.
It's the way they do it back in the hills. I had the opportunity to meet a fellow from Tennessee and Kentucky area. He doesn't know the names of the chords or anything, but he can play anything he hears. And it's just, that to me was the biggest influence from our Kentucky roots, was hearing it and doing it. Not so much about doing it right, but doing it how you feel it.
As the Fletcher Girls continued to play and eventually begin performing, their sound became smoother and sweeter. One listener said that the Fletchers' harmony was like rhubarb dripping with honey. The girls' parents cheered on their singing and performing.
I always hoped it'll be an encouragement to my kids that if I could do something a little bit, that maybe they would, hey, and they end up beating me at my own game. You know, they...
And whenever we had company, they'd say, "Come on out and sing a song." So we'd go out and we'd get out there and they'd say, "Belt it out."
Can't hear you.
Mom and Dad would say, "Belt it out," and so we'd just blurt it out. We had no idea really vocally we really didn't have any training vocally, so we just yelled it out and tried to sing on key.
Out on the plains and the deserts, out west of the great divide.
When we had to do performances in Republic, Mom and Dad just left us alone.
Yes.
They left us alone to work it out, and we fought
We did
like
fight.
crazy.
We fought a lot.
But we worked it out, and we all contributed.
As the years passed, the girls grew up and moved away to start their own families and careers.
We kind of took a break from performing for about 20 plus years, and we were invited to perform at a fiddle contest up in Republic, Washington. So that got us reunited for our first public performance after about 20 years.
All 5 of us.
And
That's the one that I really, the first time I really remember performing was, you know, just a few years ago.
And at that performance, someone said to Brenda, I think it was, "You really ought to cut a CD."
People kept asking us,
if we would make them a tape of our singing together. And we said, yeah, you know, one of these days. And then they said, you guys really should just put it on a CD because the technology is so much more simpler now to do that. And so we thought, yeah, you know, we need to do that for family. And that was our first initial thing, was just get it down on a CD for family and friends that ask. And we did that. And it turned out we got a lot more family and friends than we thought we had.
To produce the CD, the girls invested 6 months of their time and 25,000 miles of travel between their homes in Washington, Idaho, and Montana. But more importantly, they invested themselves into the creative process.
It's very challenging to work up a song when you've got 5 creative individuals. We're all pretty artistic. And we all see things just a little bit different or hear things a little different.
Right. But we also try to highlight each person's own abilities. Make sure we are able to focus on the fact that Connie can do some cut-ups on stage with her song, or you know, Kelli and Holly both yodel nicely, and make sure we highlight that somewhat, and make sure we show off the instrumentation that we do.
We want to share the limelight.
The CD features many songs from the Fletcher family's Kentucky roots. It also features 2 original tunes, Wild Roses, the title track, and Shim Sham, a song inspired by the girls' Kentucky grandma.
Shim sham shimmadiddy step pop pommadiddy lie by buttermilk and cayenne. As I go by me a turly word double O double ollie Judy Katie Sadie Katie such a worry such a blame oh Willie where you brown Jimmy Jenkins.
Yeah.
The Wild Roses CD is truly a family affair. Brenda's husband plays the stand-up bass, and all the Fletcher girls' children appear on the CD. The girls say that their kids consider it normal to have so many musicians in the family, and that the kids are taking up their own instruments, as well as singing and ballet. The kids are also starting to nag the girls about coming out with a second CD. The Fletcher girls continue to perform and branch into the recording field. But as important as their music is, it plays second fiddle to what the girls really care about, their family.
When we sing together, it's almost like sometimes I feel it's almost a spiritual thing that happens. It's just it makes me feel so incredibly good when we get together and sing. It's almost indescribable, and it's got me hooked. I just want to continue to do it for the rest of my life. I hope that we can.
Yeah, now that we've grown up and moved apart, the music keeps us coming back together. We would get together anyway, but now that the music has started up again, we're getting together a lot more.
Never was a horse like the Tennessee stud.
If you have a story idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.